Hello everyone, welcome back again to Excellent Solutions, a guide to score 300 plus in Jamb. Today we are going to be discussing mathematics and the topic is fraction. So under fraction we have this question as displayed here, but before we start solving these questions, if you are following me in any channel that you are viewing this video, kindly share this video, like and comment to this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Our question 1 of today says, simplify 1 minus open bracket 1 over 7 times 3 whole number 1 over 2 divided by 3 over 4. So this is very easy questions to tackle. First thing we need to do, we start with the bracket. We now have 1 minus 1 over 7 times this 3 times 2, we have 6. 6 plus 1, we have 7 over 2. Then divide by 3 over 4. So 7 here, 1, 7 here, 1. So 7 cancels 7. We now have 1 minus 1 over 2. Then this division, we turn it into multiplication and take reciprocal. We have 4 over 3. So 2 here, 1, 2 here, 2. We are now left with 1 minus 1 times 2. We have 2 over 3. The LCM of 2 and 3 and 1 is 1, so we now take this 1 times 3, we have 3 minus, this is the same as 1, 1 times 2, we have 2, divided by 1 times 3, we have 3. So this reduces to 3 minus 2, we have 1 over 3. And if we look at our options, option C, option B, we have 1 over 3, and the answer is option B. Our next question is question 2, and this question was asked in 2017. So this question says evaluate 1 minus bracket open 1 over 5 times 1 whole number 2 over 3 close bracket plus bracket open 5 plus 1 whole number 1 over 3. This one is also easy to do. So the first step we do, we now start with the brackets. So we now have 1 minus, here we have 1 over 5 times, this one we now have 1 times 3, we have 3, 3 plus 2, we have 5 over 3, then plus, bracket open, we now have 5 plus, we now come here, we have 1 times, okay, this should be 2, so we now have 1 times 3, we have 3, 3 plus 2, we now have 5 over 3, then we close the bracket. So here we now come and have 1 minus, this 5 cancel this 5, so we now have 1 times 1, we now have 1 over 3, plus the LCM of this one is now, this is the same as over 1, the LCM is 3, so 3 times 5, we have 15, plus 1 times 5, we have 5 over 3. So we now come here and have the LCM of the whole of this. This one becomes 20. So we can now write 20 here. So the LCM is 3. We now take 3 here and multiply the whole by 3. So with 3 here, 3 times 1, we now have 3. Minus 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 1, we have 1. Plus 3 divided by 3 is 3. Is 1. 1 times 20, we now have 20. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 plus 20, we have 22. So this becomes 22 over 3. And if we look at our options, option C, we have 22 over 3. And that is the answer. The next question is question 3. And this question was asked in 2017 also. And this question says evaluate 1 minus bracket open 1 over 5 times 2 over 3 plus bracket open 5 plus 2 over 3. So just like the previous question, we start with the bracket. So here we have 1 minus 1 times 2, we have 2. 5 times 3, we have 15. So we can leave the bracket here. Then we now say plus. The LCM of this one is the same as over 1. So we now have 3 times 5, we have 15. Plus 1 times 2, we have 2 divided by 3. So this now becomes 1 minus 2 over 15 plus 17 over 3. So the LCM of 15 and 3 is 15. So we now have 15 here. This is the same as over 1. 15 times 15 divided by 1 is 15. So we now have 15, then minus 2 plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 17, we have 85. So this one gives us 85. 85 plus 15 plus 85, we have 100. 100 minus 2, we have 98. So this now becomes 98 over 15. And if you look at our option, we have option B, which says 98 over 15. And the answer is option B. The next question is question 4. And this question was asked in 2003. So, and this question says, simplify 1 minus, open bracket, 7 over 3 times 5 over 4 plus, close bracket, plus 3 over 5. So if you look here, we start with the bracket. We don't have 1 minus 7 times 5, we have 35. Over 3 times 4, we have 12. Then plus 3 over 5. So if you look at the LCM of 12 and 5 is 60. So taking 60 here, we now have 60 divided by 1 is 60 times 1, we have 60. Minus 60 divided by 12, we have 5. 5 times 35, we have 175. Then plus 60 divided by 5, we have 12. 12 times 3, we have 36. So we look here, we are going to have 60 minus 175, we have 115. 115 minus 115 plus 36, we are going to have 151. So this gives us 151 minus 151 upon 60. And if you look at our option, we have option A, minus 151 upon 60. And the answer is option A. So the next question is question 5, and question 5 says, simplify 3 upon 5 divided by, open bracket, 2 upon 7 times 4 upon 3 divided by 4 upon 9. So the first thing, we start with the bracket. And when we come to the bracket, we now have, let's say, 3 upon 5 divided by, here we have, division comes before multiplication. So we now have 2 upon 7 times, this now becomes 4 upon 3 times, then we take reciprocal, 9 upon 4. 4 cancel 4, 3 here 1, 3 here 3. So we are now having 2 times 3 give us 6. So this becomes 3 upon 5 divided by, we now have 2 times 3, we have 6 upon 7. So this one, we make it into multiplication and take reciprocal. This becomes 3 upon 5 times 7 upon 6. So 3 here 1, 3 here we have 2. So this now becomes 1 times 7, we have 7. 5 times 2, we have 10. And if you look at our options, we have option B, says 7 upon 10. And the answer is option B. The next question is question 6. And question 6 says, simplify 81 raised to the power of minus 3 upon 4 times 25 raised to the power of 1 upon 2 times 243 raised to the power of 2 upon 5. So the first thing we need to do here is define what number can we raise to the power of 4, so that we cancel this 4 to give us 81. And here, what number can we raise to the power of 2 to give us 25? And what number can we raise to the power of 3 to give us 243? So here we now have the number that we raise to the power of 4 to give us 81 is 3 raised to the power of 4. So we now have 3 raised to the power of 4 times minus 3 upon 4. Then we now say raised to the power of minus 3 upon 4. We now have 25 is 5 square raised to the power of 1 upon 2 times, here we have 3 raised to the power of 5 to the power of 2 upon 5. So if you have something like this, in this case, this 4 cancel this 4, these 2 cancel this 2, this 5 cancel this 5. So we are left with 3 raised power of minus 3 times 5 raised power of 1, then times 3 raised power of 2. So this now becomes 1 upon 3 cubed times 5 times this one give us 3 square. So we look carefully here, this 3 square can go with this 3, so we are left with 3. So this now becomes 1 times 5, we have 5 over 3. And if we look at our options, we have in option D 5 over 3, and the answer is option D. So our next question is question 7, and this question was asked in 2020, and the question says, what is the product of 27 upon 5, comma, 3 raised power of minus 3, and in bracket 1 upon 5 raised to the power of minus 1. So the first thing we need to do, this is the same as saying 27 upon 5 times, we now have 1 upon 3 cubed, then times, we now have 1 upon 5. So this now becomes 27 upon 5. So this 27 we can say also multiply by 1 upon 27. Then times, this one we take reciprocal, 5 upon 1. So 27 cancel 27, 5 cancel 5. We are left with 1 upon 1, which is equal to 1. And if we look at our options, we have option C, which is 1, and the answer is C. The next question we have here is question 8. And question 8 says, simplify 2 upon 3 divided by 4 upon 5, all upon 1 upon 4 plus 3 upon 5 minus 1 upon 3. So this is also simple to do. One thing that we do is say equals to 2 upon 3. Here we take reciprocal, we make it times 5 upon 4, all upon the LCM of 4, 5, and 3. 4 times 5, 20, times 3, we have 60. So we can now say 60. Have 60 divided by 4, we have 15 times 1, we now have 15 here, plus 15 divided by 5, we have 12, 12 times 3, we have 36, then minus 60 divided by 3, we have 20 times 1, we have 20. So this now becomes 2 times 5, we have 10, over 3 times 4, we have 12, all upon 15 plus 36, we have 51, then minus 20, we have 31 upon 60. So this now becomes 10 upon 12 times 60 upon 31. 12 here 1, 12 here we have 5. 10 times 5, we have 50 upon 1 times 31, we have 31. And if we look at our options, we have in option C, we have in option D, we have 50 upon 31, and the answer is D. The next question we have is question 9, and question 9 says evaluate open bracket open 3 upon 8 divided by 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 plus bracket all upon 1 upon 8 times 2 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3. So the first thing we need to do here is we work with the numerator. So we now have this equal to 3 upon 8. This, since it is division, we take reciprocal, we have times 2 upon 1 plus 1 upon 2, all upon, here we can now have 1 times 2, we have 2 upon 24. 8 times 3 is 24 plus 1 upon 3. So this now becomes, if we now have 2 here, 1, 2 here, we have 4. So 1 times 3, we have 3. So this becomes 3 upon 4 times 1, we have 4. plus 1 upon 2. 2 here, 1, 2 here, we have 12. So this now becomes all upon 1 upon 12 plus 1 upon 3. So this will now result into the LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. So we now have 4. Here we have 4 divided by 4, we have 1. 1 times 3. 3 plus 4 divided by 2, we have 2. 2 times 1, we have 2. All upon the LCM of these is 12 and 3 is 12. So if we have 12 here, 12 divided by 12, we have 1. 1 times 1 is 1 plus 12 divided by 3, we have 4. 4 times 1, we have 4. So the whole of this one will now become 3 plus 2, we have 5 upon 4. Then upon 1 over plus 4, we have 5 also upon 12. So this now becomes 5 upon 4 times 12 upon 5. 5 cancel 5, 4 here 1, 4 here 3. So we have the answer to be equals to 3. And if we look at our options, option C, we have 3. So the answer is 3. That is C. The next question is question 10. And this question 10 says, simplify 25 raised power of 2 over 3 divided by 25 raised power of 1 over 6 over 1 over 5 raised power of 7 over 6 divided by 1 over 5 in bracket raised power of 1 over 6. So the first thing we need to do here, since these have the same basis, so we use the division law of indices. So this now becomes, we take one base and subtract the powers. So 25 raised power of 2 over 3 minus 1 over 6 over, since this one also the base is the same, we now take 1 over 5 raised to the power of, okay, we can put it in bracket here. We can put this one also in bracket. 1 over 5 raised power of 7 over 6 minus 1 over 6. This is the same as 25 raised power of the LCM of 3 and 6 is 6. So we now have 6. 6 divided by 3, we have 2. 2 times 2, we have 4 minus 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times 1, we have 1. So upon, we now have 1 upon 5 raised to the power of, we now have the LCM of this one is 6. So we now have 6 into 7 minus 1 over 6. So this now becomes 25 raised power of 4 minus 1 is 3. So we have 3 over 6 over 1 over 5 to the power of 6 over 6. So this now becomes 25 raised power of here 1, 3 here 1, 3 here 2, 1 over 2 over 1 over 5 raised power of 1. So if we look carefully, 25 is the same as 5 square. So we now have 5 square to the power of 1 over 2 over 1 over 5. So here 5 cancel 5, and this now reduces to 5 upon 1 upon 5, and if we check reciprocal, this becomes 5 over 1 times 5 over 1, which is the same as 25. So 5 times 5 is 25. And if you look at our options, we have option A, 25, and that is the answer. It says simplify in bracket 16 over 81 plus bracket raised to the power of 1 upon 4 divided by 9 over 16 in bracket raised power of minus 1 upon 2. So the first thing we need to do, we need to take all of this one. What can we raise to the power of 4 to have 16, and what can we raise to the power of 4 to have 81? So this now becomes, we have 2 to the power of 4, we have 16, over 3 to the power of 4, we have 81, all to the power of 1 upon 4, divided by, here what can we raise to the power of 2 to get 9? So this we have 3 square upon 4 square. 4 square is 16, all to the power of 1 upon 2. And also by laws of indices, this one can also be written as 2 upon 3 to the power of 4. Then we now say times 1 upon 4. Then divide by, this now becomes 3 upon 4 all squared times 1 upon 2. So if we look here, 4 cancel 4, 2 cancel 2. So this now becomes 2 upon 3 divided by 3 upon 4. So if we take reciprocal, this will now be equals to 2 upon 3 times 3 upon 4. So 3 here, 1, 3 here, 1. 2 here, 1, 2 here, 2. So we are having 1 upon 2. And if you look at our options, we have in option B, we have 1 upon 2. So this question 11 was asked in 2011. So the next question here is question 12. And this question 12 says evaluate 180 bracket open 81 upon 16 all in bracket raised to the power of minus 1 upon 4 times 2 raised to the power of minus 1. So this is the same as saying 1 over 81 upon 16 all to the power of 1 upon 4 times 1 upon 2 because of the negative power. So if you now look at this, this is the same as saying 1 upon 81 is the same as 3 power 4 and 16 is the same as 2 power 4. So this will now give them the power of 4, so multiply by 1 upon 4 times 1 upon 2. So this 4 cancel this 4, and we take reciprocal, this now becomes 2 upon 3, because if we take reciprocal, 2 go up, 3 come down, then times 1 upon 2. So 2 cancel 2, we are left with 1 upon 3. And if you look at our options, we have it in option A, 1 upon 3. So the answer here is A. Next question is question 13, and question 13 says evaluate bracket open 81 raised power of 3 upon 4 minus 27 raised power of 1 upon 3 all upon 3 times 2 cube. So the first thing we need to do here is work on the numerator, and this 81, what can we raise to the power of 4 to get 81? So we now have, this is the same as 3 raised power of 4 times 3 upon 4 minus 27 is the same as 3 raised power of 3 then times 1 upon 3 over 3 times 2 raised power of 3 is 8. So if we now look here, 4 cancel 4, 3 cancel 3. So if we check here, we have 3 raised power of 3 times 3 raised power of 3 minus 3 raised power of 1. So this now gives us 27 minus 3 over 3 times 8 is 24. So this now becomes 24 over 24, and this is the same as 1. And if we look at our options, we have option A, which is 1. The next question is question 14, and that question 14 is the same as question 1 and the question 13, and this question 14 was asked in 1995. So question 13 was asked in 2005, 14 in 1995. So this is a repeated question. So the next question is question 15. And question 15 says evaluate 27 raised power of 1 over 3 minus 8 raised power of 2 over 3 all upon 16 raised power of 2 over 4 minus times 2. So this is also can also be written as 27 is the same as 3 raised power of 3 times 1 upon 3 minus 8 is the same as 2 raised power of 3 times 2 upon 3 here divided by this 16 is the same as 2 raised power of 4, then multiply by this power 2 upon 4 times 2. So this 3 cancel this 3, 3 cancel 3. We are now left with 3 minus, this is the same as 2 square divided by 4 cancel 4. We now have 2 square times 2. So this gives us this 3, this is the same as 3 minus 4 over 4 times 2 and this will now be equal to 3 minus 4. We now have minus 1 over 4 times 2, we have 8. And if you look at our option, in option C, we have minus 1 over 8. And that is the answer to this question. Thank you for viewing. Kindly click on the like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you get an exciting mathematical solutions. Thank you. Bye bye.